Whoa! Whoa! Welcome, one and all, to another spreadsheet thing. It's been about a month since I did the last one, and surprisingly, it did pretty well. I got a couple of very nice comments on that, which really made my week when I got them. I'm happy that at least some people, besides myself, are getting some kind of enjoyment out of me rambling about fucking games, you know? And since it's been a month, new games have been added to the list. Whoa. How about that? And I still don't think I'm going to get even close to finishing, but we'll see. Let's see how we do in an hour. Also, I've got a list of games I plan to record that's not important to you. First I want to make a couple of changes to what I have done previously in the last episode. This one in particular has been keeping me awake for, that's a bit of an exaggeration, it's been on my mind. Super Mario World. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Now I realize that giving it 0.5 higher score than Super Mario Brothers is a bit of not a good score. Even though I don't enjoy it as much as others, I can still say that it's going to be a higher score, so I'm giving it a 0.5 booster to a 7.5. I think that's fair. I think that's good. What else was there? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Right now, it's a 9. And in the last episode, I said I wish they released more DLC for this game. And as most of you probably know, in the last Direct, they announced 48 new tracks for this game. That's being released over a year, is it? End of 2023? Yeah, that's gonna do it. I think that might bump it up to a 10 when it comes out, depending on the quality. Still no new characters, but bruh, that's like a whole new game. And I, for one, I'm happy about it. There was one more. Oh yeah. Ugh. Since last episode, I have finished Halo 1. It didn't get any better. At least the campaign didn't. I'm deducting points. I'm giving it a 6.5. Cry about it. I've still not started Halo 2. We'll get there. We'll get there. So I guess we could just go from where we left off, starting from the top. So first on the list, I don't know, is Mario Strikers Charged Football. The one that is strangely violent and edgy for a Mario game. The one that literally got a sequel announced in the last Direct. That's why I played this and recorded it. Just because I was like, ooh, it has been a while since I last played good old Mario Strikers Charged. And yeah, it was a jolly good old time. I didn't want to finish. And it's a Wii game made by Next Level Games, which is now owned by Nintendo. Oh yeah, one other thing I should probably address. Some of you might be wondering for some reason, why hasn't there been any new episodes of Here's Why that came out since a month ago? Mainly because I didn't have any motivation to make a new one. I am working on the next one. I know what game is going to be. It is on this list. We might even get there. I have notes. I've just not written the script yet, because writing scripts is hard, laborious, and kind of boring. And, you know, and I've been kind of busy now. I'm a busy guy. That's why making these is so fun, because they're easy, and I can just get all of the stuff that I want to say out without even having to read a script. Anyway, Mario Strikers Charged, I think is really good. It has its problems. It's not perfect by any means. I think the Mega Strikes, is that what they're called? When they go... I think they're kind of broken. They could be very easily abused. And it's the only part of the game where it is required to have motion controls when you want to catch the balls. I didn't like that. Is that the only thing that I disliked? Obviously, the main appeal for most people are the characters. The characters in this game are so good. So good! Each and every one is pissed, but also full of personality. They made Peach interesting. Peach is one of the best characters from a personality perspective in the game. She's a bad bitch. You won't get that anywhere else besides Strikers. Also, it's very, very windy right now. It's like forecast like 70-mile-per-hour winds, so if I get a power cut during this, I'm going to be very upset. Mario Strikers, I keep going on tangents, I do this. What am I going to give it? Every court, some of them are pretty bad, I will admit, like the sand one, didn't like it that much, but that's like the only one that I don't like that much. The sidekicks are good. I wish they didn't get rid of sidekicks in the new one. Hopefully the new one has more than like 8 characters. I'm gonna give it a 9. Like, there's a very strong streak of 8 and 9s here. Mario Strikers Charge is fucking good. I've not played the original. It just seems like a more watered down, less good version, but yeah, I might go back to it at some point. And in Europe, that game isn't called Mario Strikers, it's called like Mario Smash Football, which is dumb. What else is there to say? The music actually is one of the best OSTs on the Wii, I think. There are a couple of bad ones, but like the Classroom Court, that's got a banging soundtrack. Most of the character themes are really good, like Wario. Luigi's really good. He speaks Italian, like actually Italian, not like gibberish Italian. By that I mean it's just like 1 or 2 words, but that's a 9. I think that's a 9. In my opinion, that's a 9. Yeah, next. I think... Nah, I have a lot to say. I'm gonna change this to planned. I will eventually get around to making this. I have a lot of planned. These are like the ones that I would want to make an episode on. The maybes, I'm like on the fence. Those is like, there's not enough I can say. Donkey Kong Country 2. Diddy's Conquest. What did I give the original? An 8? This is an improvement in almost every way. But it's not perfect. It says unfinished. I have finished the game before, just for the sake of recording, I've not got to the end. What was the bad things I was gonna say? What were the bad things I was gonna say? I mean, I was gonna give it like a 9. Another 9, I know. It's got excellent music. Probably the best soundtrack in the entire series, hands down. The level themes are really cool. You start off, World 1's like a pirate-themed one. World 2 is lava. World 3 is like a swamp. That is so unique and unconventional for a platformer. It's not like plains, like, for the sake of Donkey Kong, it's like jungle, cave, snow, like, you know. No, it's very unique in that sense. You play as Diddy and Dixie. It introduced Dixie. I'm grateful for that. Dixie's a very useful character. The graphics are about as good as Country, maybe a little bit better. I mean, yeah, the landscapes definitely look better. Which is saying something, because Country's landscapes already were really good. There's like collectible coins that you can unlock new levels with that are really, really hard. The animal buddies are pretty good. There's Squawks, who actually does shit this time in the Bramble levels, which I've already talked about the story of Sticker Brush Symphony, of how it was made for a water level, but they were like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Let's put this relaxing theme in the Bramble levels. Like, okay, that makes just as much sense as the water ones. At least I think that's what it was. I don't remember the specifics. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this game is harder than Country. Way harder. At least for me. But it still feels fair. It's got that rareware quality of being hard, but fair feeling. There's a lot of 8s and... Am I being too generous with these? But no, these are good games. Everyone can agree with this. With these. I've not played 3. Well, I have. I've not gone very far in 3, but... I didn't get far enough in 3 to make a actual opinion on it. The boss fights are still pretty bad. Oh yeah, the animal buddies. There's Spider with Drip. There's the snake. The elephant's in 3. Who else is there? Did they bring back Rambi? I don't remember. It's been a while. I think 9 is a good... But what's bad about it? What's bad about it? The bosses. Not great. Better than the first one. I don't like the water levels. Compared to the first one, the water levels aren't nearly as interesting or good. They brought On Guard back, that's another one. You know, I know it's not a 10. I remember when playing I had some complaints, but they just completely escape my mind right now. Shit. What was it? It's a 9. I think, you know, people, you could agree with that, right? It's a 9? Cool! The Legend of Zelda, the first one on NES. So, people who know me know I'm a huge Zelda nut. Zelda is probably my favorite game series. But with that being said, I never finished the first one. I played it before, didn't get very far in it. I have now finished it, and with that I can say it's far from the best 2D Zelda game. But it's actually still pretty fun. But there is a lot wrong with it. I consider this one of the first open world games. This game laid the template for like open world Breath of the Wild Zelda, because you could just go wherever you want in this grid. And the game doesn't really give you any hints as to where anything is. You have to like memorize it. That's the thing with old NES games. They don't really tell you a lot. I imagine back in the day, people had to like write shit down on paper of which square contains what. The game gets more fun as you progress. When you start out, it's very, very hard. You have 3 hearts. You die in like 2 hits in some cases. And you just don't know where to go. But as you keep collecting heart pieces, bombs, items, and upgrade said items, complete the dungeons, it becomes more fun just to explore. The music is there's like 2 songs in the game. Can't really say much about the soundtrack. It's very, I keep saying it's very cryptic, but it is. Like when you get, what was it? A piece of paper from the old man who says, "Give this to the old lady." And it's like, okay. Who is this old lady and where is she? And she's like in some cave that's been blocked off. He needs to get a bomb. She gives you a potion, I think. Some enemies are just fucking dreadful. Like, the Wizros. They can fuck right off. I hate the Wizros. They're just annoying, and, what else? The bosses are kind of pathetic, to be honest. Like, I killed Manhandler in 1 hit. I'm like, okay, is that it? Ganon's good. Like, that's actually a good fight, I think, Ganon in this one. Obviously, it's the one that kickstarted... Like, this game is the one that kickstarted my favorite series. So I'm gonna respect it somewhat. 7, I think that's good. I guess the next place to go is Zelda 2. That's like one of the only Zelda games I haven't played. It's like that one, Oracles of Ages and Seasons, and Spirit Tracks. Those are the only ones I've not played that are like canon. I don't want to play Zelda 2. Yeah, Zelda 1, it's a jolly good old romp through Hyrule. And, you know, it's dangerous to go alone, take this. One of the most famous lines in gaming. It's good! Okay, what was next? Oh, the most recent game on the list, I think. Pokemon Legends Arceus. This game single-handedly brought back my interest in Pokemon. For like the last, I want to say, year and a half, my interest for Pokemon has just been dipping greatly. I haven't even played Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and Platinum was my first Pokemon game that I have the most nostalgic attachment for, and I just don't care. I don't care for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This game though, this fucking game, it's so good. I've not finished the main story, I'm close. But honestly, my favorite part is just going around and doing the research tasks and finding and catching new things. It's just so fun. Obviously, there's like the elephant in the room of what's bad about the game. It's ugly as shit, it does not look good. The pop-in is atrocious. The texture quality is at times not, honestly, kind of embarrassing for Nintendo. But that's all aesthetic. From a gameplay point of view, it's really, 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 really good. It takes... Well, also, expect spoilers in the footage. It's been like 2-3 weeks since the game came out. There's official art of all the new Pokemon. If you've somehow been avoiding all that, then, well, I don't know what to say to you. honestly, I wouldn't mind them going this route of making more of these games if they bring back stuff that they took out, like abilities, held items, that sort of thing. Because battles in this game they just feel kind of what's the word? Monotonous? No, shallow. I would say. Yeah, there's not a lot of depth to it. That, and I've noticed that you take a lot of damage from even the smallest attacks in this game. Shit dies in like 1 or 2 hits. It's kind of annoying. There's like 200 and something Pokemon in this game. I'm not at all like against that. It works with this game. And especially if they add DLC with more Pokemon, which I think has pretty much been confirmed. Well, not confirmed, like leaked. It works. This game works. Game Freak. They did good. They did good. What am I going to give it? I would say this is, first of all, I consider this game to be main series. I would consider this in my top 10 main series Pokemon games. Maybe even top 10 of all Pokemon games. But I think it's still like an 8. Because the graphics kind of drag down the experience a little bit. Even though on handheld mode, it surprisingly doesn't look any different. It's surprisingly stable in handheld mode. The frame rate's pretty good too, at least from what I've experienced. The Pokemon animations themselves have been revamped. They actually have personality somewhat. And for the most part, they are like size accurate. The fights against the nobles, I like almost all of them. I wasn't a big fan of Avalog. That fight was kind of like, no, that didn't hit it for me. But Legends Arceus, I want them to make like Legends Eternatus, Legends Celebi, Legends fucking, I don't know, Farfetch'd. I don't know, more Game Freak. I know it took them years to make this. But it's really good. And for the most part, the new Pokemon, or new forms of Pokemon, generally I like most of them, not all of them. I don't like the new Sneasels. I don't like Samurott that much. Palkia I think looks good. Dialga not so much. I know there's like reasons for it, but I don't think it looks good. Weird fucking based. Ursaluna is fucking really good. It's just fun. It's just fun. God, I love this game. I'm going to be playing this for hours. Keeping on the Pokemon train. Battle Revolution. This is an unpopular opinion. I really like this game. Mostly for nostalgic reasons. I will admit. I didn't grow up with like Stadium, Coliseum, or any of that. This was my first Pokemon Battle Simulator game, and I played it non-stop. I still think it's good. I think the animations are fine, even though some of the character models are just ripped from the N64 version. I think it's charming. I think all the stadiums look pretty good for the Wii. The music is good. The lack of mini games doesn't bother me. I was never, I'm gonna play a Pokemon Battle Simulator for the battles. Like, there's next to no story, but the Coliseum, like, story mode sort of thing, it gives occasionally good spins on the formula, like a roulette wheel, having to pick from, like, a board of preset Pokemon. Tournaments are just straight battling. I think the voiceover guy, I think he's charming, even though some of his lines get a bit monotonous. It's just Pokemon battles, that's literally all it is. It's Battle Revolution. There's not a lot to say. Pokemon are size accurate. I think that's worth something. I think they're going to make a new one for Switch. Since all of the latest Pokemon games have not had national decks, they're going to make another one of these where you can just import all of your Pokemon into this one game so you can fucking battle with them and see them on the big screen, doing all these fancy animations with online, maybe a story mode and minigames, who knows? But I would love it. I don't know if Genius Sonority is still around, and if they're still good. That's what they're called, right? Is that what they're called? I don't even know what they're called. Yeah, Genius Sonority. I think they're still around. They should get back on it. Even with all that being said, though, I can understand why people might not like this one that much. But for me, I think it's a 7. Yes. It kind of sucks that playing as Dawn and Lucas is kind of locked behind, you know, like DS mode, where you actually use your DS to select Pokemon and fight. I would like to play as Dawn and Lucas in the main game, not all these generic characters, but whatever. I like it. I don't know what else to tell you. I think it's good. I think it's good. Fuck you if you don't like it. Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. Ooh, I've got things to say. Obviously, it's Kirby. It's gonna be at least good. There is no bad Kirby game. Maybe. None that I can think of. It's a remake of the first, well, what I consider to be the first real Kirby game, the NES one, Kirby's Adventure. And it's a very, from what I can tell, it's been a while since I played the NES one, it's a very faithful remake. It doesn't change a lot besides the graphics. Maybe adding 1 or 2 new copy abilities. I don't remember UFO or Ball Kirby being in the original. This was the GBA game, so it came out after Superstar. And all that. So, going back to having 1 or 2 attacks per copy ability, kind of disappointed. I understand that the game levels and all that aren't built for these big movesets, or at least somewhat big movesets or copy abilities. Besides from like the rare, like sword and hammer, when they have an aerial attack and an underwater attack. But it's a small complaint. The levels themselves are pretty good. It's easy, obviously. The levels are really short. Some of them can be beat in like a minute. There's new mini games. There's the one where you like grind on rails. There's one where you pass a bomb around or something. That's the ones that I actually played. I don't remember it. The final boss is good against Nightmare. The fight against the boss fights are really good in this one. They're solid. Do you fight Wispy Woods? I don't remember fighting Wispy Woods. I think you do. Of course you do. It's Kirby. The fight against King Diddy was good. The fight against Meta Knight was good. This game introduced Meta Knight. Yeah, that's right. But it's far from my favorite Kirby game. Even on the Game Boy Advance, I think Amazing Mirror is better than this one. People could be upset that I give it a 6. A whole point less than Battle Revolution. This isn't the Kirby game that I would want to play again anytime soon. I like having a wide array of moves for each copy ability. Having only one. Also, did we need both Freeze and Ice Kirby in the same game? Did we need both Fire and Burning Kirby in the same game? They could have just mushed them together. That was a bit of a missed opportunity. There's a lot of filler, I think. 6 is what I'd give it, personally. I might go back and play the original Kirby's Adventure, so I can compare and contrast to see what really is different, because I'm not that sure. I'm fairly certain it's mostly aesthetic. Also, one funny thing is that Kirby games are famous for, like, referencing themselves and being self-referential. The game that introduced that is the second one, where there's a whole ass level where it's just black and white and levels from the original Game Boy game. The second game in this series is referencing old games. I just think that's funny. I don't know. I just think that's funny. How long has it been? Jesus, 25 minutes. You have a while to go. F-Zero X, ooh. It has been a while since I last played F-Zero X. I remember enjoying it greatly. It's one of the best aging N64 games, I think, because it doesn't have to be like high quality models. It's just like these futuristic cars on roads. There's like no character models or anything, so the texture quality is good. The music is fantastic. Most of the courses are good. There are a few that I remember not liking, but I can't name them. I don't remember. I'm not huge on F-Zero. I've only played X and GX, and this was the first time I played X. GX is amazing. What can I say? Like, it's fast-paced. Obviously, it's F-Zero. For the amount of character models that can be on screen at one time, the frame rate is solid. I don't know if it's 30 or 60. Couldn't tell you. I'm not an FPS guy. Like, in both frames per second and first-person shooters, I'm not an FPS guy. Oh man, it's been such a long time. I don't remember a lot about the game. There's nothing you can really unlock, I think. I think you can unlock new characters. I get GX and X confused a lot. They all sort of blend together for me. I think this is also... no, I think it's a 6.5. Because I can't say much bad about it, but it does nothing to stand out in my mind. That's why I'm having such a hard time talking about it. What can I say that's bad? I've not tried the two-player local split screen. I assume it's good. It's just good. That's all I can really say about F-Zero X. Unfortunately, I can't really say much more. Finished. Okay, I guess I consider finished to be race on every track and win. Okay. Cool. F-Zero X. I don't know what else to say. Clue Clue Land. I don't even know why I played this. Clue Clue Land is in my mind a lot for some reason. It's just so weird. How did they sell this game? Because I don't understand it. So, you play as a blue blob called Bubbles, and you swing around poles and shoot lasers at these blue spidey things called Unera, that one item from Smash Brothers, that blue little spiky dude. And you have to get the coins to make a shape. And it controls fucking awful. It's really hard. It's really bad. I can't say anything good about it. It's just confusing. And I don't know why I played it. It's a 2. It's not a 1. It's at least on the same level as Donkey Kong 3. They're both confusing. They're both bad. Clue Clue Land. Why is it called that? Wasn't Bubbles once, like, considered to be in Smash, in Melee, but they chose Ice Climbers? Could you imagine a universe where Sakurai decided to go with Bubbles? What would his moveset be? He does two... I think it's a she. Or a he? I don't know. In the game, there are two things you do. Swing and shoot lasers, which I didn't know about until my last time playing it. That's it. How do you make a moveset out of that? I assume that's why they didn't pick Bubbles. It's a 2. I would say go and play it though, just so you know what I'm talking about. It feels god-awful to play. It feels like an arcade game, and a really bad arcade game on the NES. Panel Nippon! Ooh, I am into this game now. I finished it, in fact. I beat the final boss. I'm surprised. It's another falling block puzzle game, where you just match colors and shoot blocks at the enemy. At least that's what the versus mode is. And I play this game a lot at work, like on my break. I love playing Panel Nippon. It's just fun, like, not mindless. It's a game that I can just turn off to and just play for hours on end. Most people will know this as Tetris Attack. It's the same thing, but with fairy anime girls. Except, you know, besides Yoshi. It's just good fun. I can't really say anything bad about it besides I can't read the Japanese. I was playing, like, I say it's on SNES, I was playing it through Switch Online on the SNES app. Which it's really cool that they put that on there for everyone to play. It's like what they did with Sin and Punishment. They keep bringing over these foreign games that people are interested in. I think this is a... It's not a 10. Do I think it's a 10? No. It's an 8.5. I don't feel good giving it a 9. Because, you know... It's exactly what it looks like. It doesn't do anything special. But it's really good at doing what it does. You know? The characters aren't very anything special, though. Except for Lip, who lives on through Smash, being both a Mii character outfit and the Lip's stick item. That item really confused me back when I first saw it in Brawl. Because, like, lipstick, that's not lipstick, that's a fucking flower. But now get it, it's Lip's stick. You know? Sonic Adventure, I haven't played any more of it since last time. So, I still have nothing to say about it. Sorry. I'm gonna get to it. I'm really bad with, like, my backlog. I keep playing new shit and playing old games that I like already. Except for, you know, I'm not playing these new games that I want to get into. Like, I enjoyed what I've played of this game so far, which really surprised me. I just not got around to getting any further in it, unfortunately. Crazy Taxi, ooh. This is a childhood favorite of mine on the PS2. Playing the PC version, which I think is more close to the Dreamcast version. It's arcade goodness. You're in a taxi, you're a taxi cab driver. You go around picking people up and taking them to their destinations as fast as you can, earning as much points as you can, without running out of time. That's really it. It's very janky. Being like, I think this game released in arcades, and then on Dreamcast, I'm not sure. This game has BD Joe, a favorite of mine from the Sonic and Sega series. This version doesn't have all the brand deals in it. I remember the PS2 version had, like, Pizza Hut, KFC, and fucking, I don't know, other shit like that in it. This didn't have that, it's just like generic pizza place. Which, I don't know, that's not really... That's not gonna affect the score in any way. I don't know why I mentioned it. The soundtrack, I don't remember. I don't think it's licensed music. I don't know, I couldn't tell you. It's good. It's a bit frustrating at times with the controls. The physics are very strange. I think if they remade this today, it would be a lot more fun. 7. I would say it's on the same amount of enjoyment as Puyo Puyo Champions. Yeah. It's just a good game to play for like 30 minutes on Steam. Just to burn, just like waste time, I guess. Which, you know, same thing can be said about Minecraft. I have loved this game since I first saw it back in, I want to say 2011. Damn. That was a long time ago. Fuck, I've been playing this game a long time. This is, the footage is going to be Bedrock Edition. This is both Java and Bedrock versions. I feel like this is a 10 out of 10 game. Because it's so open. It's so open. And it's on everything. Everyone can play this. I think among older generations, not to generalize, but they don't like it as much as people like me who grew up with this game. It's very nostalgia heavy and better for younger players, I guess. That's not generalizing, but you know. You could just, everyone knows what this game is. It is the best selling game in the fucking world. You can do whatever you want. Kind of. Within reason. build whatever you want with fucking squares and cubes. What can I say? It's 10. What bad can I say about it? Every update is a banger. People say, oh, the graphics are bad. That's like the fucking point. That's the point, and I think it's charming that it's all blocky and pixely. What can I say about Minecraft? The community aspect of it is amazing with servers. Everyone can play the game. Is relatively cheap. It's on everything. It's on everything. You play it on anything. Well, again, within reason, you can't play it on the SNES. I mean, it's Minecraft. It's Minecraft. I will say, I want to say like 2014 to 2016, obviously the game was dying. The updates back then weren't very good, at least in my opinion, but they've saved themselves. There's so much content, honestly, 10 out of 10. You can play Minecraft if you haven't. Same thing with Sonic Adventure, I've not got any further in Ori, unfortunately. I like Ori. Ooh! Now we're on to where we left off. This is like not Nintendo shit anymore. This is like all sorts of fun. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix. I found this on the Xbox store for real cheap. What do you know? It's another falling block puzzler. And it's mixed with Street Fighter. It doesn't really affect anything. There's nothing really Street Fighter here besides the characters. With special guests from like Darkstalkers. Is that what it's called? It's called Darkstalkers, right? Morrigan. It's fun. It's fun. There's not a lot I can say that I haven't already said about like Puyo Puyo. I think it's on the same level as Puyo Puyo. It's definitely a 7. It's more competitive, which means you can rack up some crazy combos and just win instantly if you're really good. The fight with Akuma took me a long time. This game is funny as well. This game is funny. It's got a good sense of humor with Dan. It's very Japanese humor, which I appreciate, at least somewhat. Yeah, it was like £3 and I played it for like an hour and I have not really touched it since then, but... And of course it's a Street Fighter game, so you're going to have those overly long names. Not a lot I can say about that one. Sorry. Pac-Man. I enjoy Pac-Man, the entire series, the entire Pac-Man series, probably more than most. Pac-Man World 1 was one of my first games I've ever played, and since then I've just kind of been... You know, I got that Pac-Man fever, you know? I know a crazy amount of Pac-Man trivia. For some reason. I've played a lot of Pac-Man. I have a Pac-Man arcade cabinet behind me. You can't see it. Well, can I? Can I, like, turn on my webcam? I don't want to do that. Trust me, I've got a Pac-Man 1-up behind me. Pac-Man, what the hell do I give this score-wise? This is the arcade version. It's one of the most famous games of all time. If you see like a pizza missing a slice, you're like, oh, it's Pac-Man, waka waka waka, you know? It's just good old fun, good old, score chasing action, eating fruits and nuts and ghosts. And it's surprisingly deep and hard to master with all the ghost patterns. Like, watching pro top player Pac-Man is like, whoa. I didn't know the game it got this fast. I think there's a point where the power pellets just do nothing. That's scary. Pac-Man is this, what did I give Mario Brothers? 5.5. I feel like it would be fair to give it the same. It's very similar, that's a 6. It's very similar to Mario Brothers in that it's so old, so prolific, and so influential, but playing it is like, I get it, you know, it's Pac-Man. There's definitely better Pac-Man games, like, you know, the Maze variety, like Ms. Pac-Man. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of really obscure ones like Professor Pac-Man. I think that's what it was called. Baby Pac-Man, which was like a pinball machine, I think. Pac-Man Championship Edition 2+. I found this on Switch for real cheap. I played it before on PS4, and this game is just... It's basically what if Pac-Man was bright neon and crazy. I love it. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. It's like you're given a challenge, like eat this many fruit, this many apples. But you can rack up some crazy combos. Like you pass by these like transparent ghosts, which attach themselves to the back of the actual ghosts. So when you get a power pellet, all of them turn blue, and you can eat like 30 ghosts in one go. This is really fun. Also, it's weird that you don't die instantly from touching a ghost. It gives you like 3 chances to bump into them until they actually get aggro. I think that's interesting. The boss fights are fun. It's basically just fast-paced, modernized Pac-Man. It's definitely better than the original. Because there's actually like content here. It's an 8. No, 7.5. It can get a bit monotonous. It's like I say, it's just Pac-Man but fast with a bunch of gimmicks. So if you don't like Pac-Man, you're not going to like this game. Which saying that, same can be said for Pac-Man 99. It's Pac-Man Battle Royale. I enjoy this one infinitely more than Tetris 99, and I gave that an 8. This is a 9. It's not perfect. I'm pretty good at this game, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna brag, I'm good. Just a good drink. I score at least top 10 most of the time. And these games go by a lot faster than Tetris 99, I think. People die surprisingly fast. It's Pac-Man. So it's the Pac-Man maze, and it brings over stuff from the Championship Edition games with the transparent ghosts that follow the other ghosts. And by eating these chains, you send Jammer Pac-Man to the other people, which slow them down if they touch them. And eventually you make like these evil red Pac-Man, which kill them. It can get intense. It can get so intense. It gets so fast. It's just a good time. And if you have Switch Online, it's free, just like Tetris 99. And it is really strange that... I can understand why some people might not like this, just for the reason that they brought this out after getting rid of Mario 35 as like a replacement. But this game is better than Mario 35, come on. Come on. Pac-Man 99. 99 Pac-Man. It's good. Space Invaders IG. I do not remember what the IG stands for. Instagram? This was free on Xbox Live Gold. It's kind of similar to Championship Edition Pac-Man. It is like a modern version of Space Invaders, like a shoot 'em up. I didn't enjoy it as much as Championship Edition though. I'm not much of a Space Invaders guy, I guess. It gets really hard, and it can be hard to see what you're doing. Like the screen gets really bright and there's a lot of stuff going on. You can't really see what's happening. I don't like that very much. It's a 6. No, it's not. It's a 5. I would say, like, regular Pac-Man is more fun than this. At least for me, it was. The general consensus is that it's fine. It's a fun time waster if you like Space Invaders. But I can assume this game is not fit for epileptics. Because there's a lot of flashing lights and shit going on. Yeah, it's a 5. It's been 45 minutes. I think we can get most of this done. Sinistar. Underrated arcade gem. Sinistar is amazing. So, you play as a little spaceman, and you have to go around mining these asteroid things for crystals called Cinnabombs. And you need, I think, around 13 to 17-ish Cinnabombs. And after a couple minutes, Sinistar shows up. This scary, robot-y face thing who speaks and says the darndest things in a very funny voice. And it's just good. It's really scary, and it's hard. It's really hard. I haven't... Oh no, I guess I did beat it. I've beat it once. If you can trap Sinistar, it's really easy, but that's hard to do. Because he sends out these other spaceships that can shoot you down. And the Cinnabombs themselves are like a pixel big, so you really have to try hard to collect them, because controlling your spaceship is hard. But then these other spaceships can also collect the Cinnabombs to take them away from you. And I think Sinistar awakens when they collect enough Cinnabombs from you. It's just good! It's fun, you can play it for hours on end. Maybe not. For like an hour. You can get a solid amount of fun from it in an hour, then it gets kind of monotonous. I'm really upset that I believe there's no sequels, there's no re-releases. People have forgotten about Sinistar, and that upsets me, because there's so much potential here. Saying that, I would imagine if this game took off big time, there would have been like an edgy reboot in like the 2010s. Like what they did to Bomberman back then. I wouldn't like that. I want them to make a new version of Sinistar, it'd be really cool. It's an 8, I'm not even kidding. My only complaint is that the Cinnabombs are like I'm not even kidding when I say they're a pixel. They are tiny. Like an actual pixel. So collecting them can be a bit of a pain. And avoiding the other enemy ships can be a bit of a pain, because it's hard to control, it's very floaty. Excellent game. If you can play it through MAME, just do it. It's good fun. Doom 2016. This game made me interested in Doom, and like first-person shooters in general. At least the single player did. I've not touched the online multiplayer. I don't care about that. This game is really good. It's the best Doom game. I can say that. It's better than Doom Eternal. You feel so powerful as the Doom Slayer. Even in the hardest modes, you feel good. The violence and gore, it's not for everyone, obviously. But just the shooting demons and ripping them open, it's just fun. The chainsaw, whenever you get the chance to use the chainsaw, it feels really good. The gun selection is good. You don't run out of ammo too much, which was my problem with Doom Eternal mainly. It sticks to what it's good at, which is the shooting. There's not too much platforming. For the most part, there are some levels I was like, eh. The boss fights are good. It says unfinished. I have finished the game previously, but playing it for footage, I've not finished it yet. Doom 2016. What do I give it? It's not a 10. It's not a 10. There are times where it got a bit glitchy on me. I can see through the hidden collectibles. That's like my favorite part of the game, I'm not even kidding. Just exploring these areas. In what other first-person shooter that's like this, can you find these sorts of hidden collectibles? There's like they referenced old games. There's this one part where it looks like it's ripped out of the original Doom. It's just good! This game brought the Doom series back after what 3 did. It's a 9. It's a 9. Yeah. No, it's a 9.5 in my opinion. Like, the online, I assume it was good. I don't know if it's still alive. Like the community of it. Doom 2016 is a good fucking game. You've probably played it. You've probably played it. It's on most systems. It's on Switch. I've not played the Switch version. I assume it's okay. From one gory, murdery game to another. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Ooh. I am conflicted with this game. There are parts of it that I really, really like. There are parts of it that I really don't like. So let's start with what I do like. The character roster post DLC, for the most part, is actually really good. Bringing back characters like Fujin and Scarlet, making Scarlet a canon character was amazing. The fighting itself is fluid, it feels good. The fatalities are among the most creative and fun to watch. If you're into that sort of stuff. If you don't like gore, then obviously you're not going to like it. Obviously, gore warning. The story is good. It's okay. The way it carries on from X is fine. It doesn't introduce too many brand new characters, which is that's what X did that I didn't like. It introduced too many brand new characters that are just like one-offs. Besides from like the few good ones. The crypt is fun to explore. The online is good. The character interactions are just as good as in X. That's my favorite part about these new Mortal Kombat games. Is starting out the round with unique character interactions. That takes effort. The character animation is amazing. Obviously, it's like not stop motion, of course not. Motion capture, that's what it's called. Okay, now for the bad that I could think of off my head. I said the character selection is good. Besides the guest characters, I do not like the guest characters. In MK9, having both Kratos and Freddy Krueger, okay. It's like, it's cool, I guess. Then in X, having 4 guest characters is like, okay. It's just too much. These characters are taking up spots that could be filled with other actual Mortal Kombat characters. And that's the same in this one. I don't want the Joker or John Rambo in these games. I want fucking, I don't know, Cyrax or Smoke or Striker. I like Striker. I don't like Chronica. I don't like the other new characters really. But there's like fewer of them. I don't like how they, with the new generation, with Cassie, Jackie, Kung Jin, and Takeda, they brought back the 2 lamest ones and got rid of the 2 cool ones. They brought back Jackie and Cassie, which I guess that makes sense from the story perspective. But I'd much rather play as Takeda than Jackie. Bringing back Melina, I love Melina. But it's like, come on. Okay, whoa. The main thing, I almost forgot completely. Why can't they keep the character designs and the voices consistent in these new games? Take one look at Katana from MK9, MKX, and MK11. They look almost completely different. And they sound completely different. Why can't it be consistent? Like, some characters stay the same in both the design and voice, like Sub-Zero and Johnny Cage, for example. They're pretty much the same as they have been since MK9. But then characters like, you know, Jade and Kano, they keep changing. Why? Keep it the same! That's the biggest part of MKX and 11 that just annoys me. The gear system, I didn't like that much. I'd much rather just have preset costumes. Like what MKX did. Because then it just becomes too much. Having like 200... I don't know if there's actually 200. A lot of different options for each part of the costume. It's like, I don't want to do that. I just want to look cool without spending an hour going through this menu. What else don't I like? The in-game currency system. I believe there's microtransactions. Don't like that. That's pretty much all I have to say about this game that I can think of right now. But I can't understate how much of a downgrade MK11 Katana is from a design perspective from MKX Katana. MKX Katana is best katana design. Easily. But then I still think this game is like an 8. It's a good Mortal Kombat game. From gameplay, that's what matters mainly, is how is the fighting in this fighting game. And it's really good. Even though I don't like... What are they called? The comeback mechanic. I don't remember what they're called. Where if you're at low enough health, you can just do a really strong attack. Not a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of X-rays either, but... Oh, it works. Portal! This game was just announced for Switch. And it's a 10 out of 10. I'm giving quite a lot of high numbers out today. How many 10s do I have? Portal? Minecraft? Punch-Out? I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, so there's not that many. There's nothing bad I can say about Portal. It's a good puzzle game. This is one of the most prolific, fun, and influential games from semi-recent times. It's like 15 years old. GLaDOS is one of the best villains. I've not even played Portal 2 yet. This is based entirely off Portal 1. I love her personality. I love her sarcastic nature. And she's just a robot. The hidden lore of like Ratman and the origin of GLaDOS and all that. That's fun. That's fun to look into if you're into that. The sense of isolation is really cool in this game. The puzzles themselves are fulfilling, fun to do. The ambience is fun. The turrets are adorable but also terrifying at the same time. The companion cube, one of the most iconic things. And this is like a time capsule of a time when Valve was cool. You know, the orange box. Portal, Half-Life, and Team Fortress 2. You can't get a better deal than that. I can't say anything bad about Portal. It's just... I don't like saying masterpiece. It's close to a masterpiece. It's really close. And as I say, I've not even played Portal 2 yet. And I assume that's going to be a 10 as well. And now, pretty soon, you can play it on Switch. I mean, it's a bit late. It should have been there to begin with. But, I'm going on a tangent again. It's weird. Valve is about to release the Steam Deck. And they're releasing Steam games on Switch. And also, Half-Life on Switch. Wouldn't it be fucking wild if Team Fortress 2 came to Switch and you could link your Steam account to Switch somehow and you just get all your stuff from Steam on the Switch? It'll play worse with a controller. But just imagine having that. Having Team Fortress... How would the market work? I don't know. But just imagine. Just imagine. Portal. It's a 10 out of 10. How far are we? Ooh, about an hour in. I might get to Isaac. And then leave it. Yeah. Neo Bomberman. I just played this out of curiosity, and honestly, I've not played many Bomberman games. This one's really fun, and it's an arcade game. It's good old classic Bomberman, I think. You know, you blow shit up, kill all the enemies, get to the next level. The boss fights... The first boss fight. I didn't like it. It's got some very weird perspective shit and weird timing. But there are these little creatures that you can collect and use. I don't remember what they're called. It's hard to talk about this. It's been like a month since I last played it. Over that. Like 2 months. But I remember it being a solid game. I was playing it through MAME, so I cheated with the credits. I didn't get too far in. I got past the water levels. Which I believe you can breathe underwater anyway, so it's like, what's the point? Just like, for a little bit of pizzazz. Because I don't remember how deep this game goes. I'm gonna give it a 7. Because I know it's good. I know it's a solid time. I might play more of it, then come back to it later. So yeah. Burnout Paradise. Ooh. Okay, best Burnout game. The open world is fun to explore. The graphics are amazing. I was playing this on the Series X. The physics of crashing, like how your car interacts with crashing, really fun. Game gets pretty challenging too. The races are fun. Like, despite being a pretty generic overworld, it's fairly easy to know where you're going and where everything is. Like, I'm not a car guy, but just seeing all these car designs, I'm like, whoa, that's a cool looking car, you know? Going fast is fun. It's just fun. It's good old... It's not arcadey. It takes what the other Burnout games did well and makes it more open in this cool island. The soundtrack, it's very of its time, you could say. But I think that's charming. I think that's very charming. With like Avril Lavigne. Some might call it cringy, like in the soundtrack, or a bit outdated. But I just think it's like a time capsule of whenever the game released. I don't remember. It was like 360 era, right? Let me check. Burnout Paradise release date. Oh my god, it was 2008. Okay, well, and I'm grateful that in this remaster they didn't take it out, like the new soundtrack. I'm gonna put a remastered version, just so people know. I mean, besides from the few challenge types, I would like if there was more challenge types. Most of them are just races or crash into people or don't get crashed into. I wish there was more. I don't know what more you could do. Finding all the billboards and crashing into them, or finding all the shortcuts, it makes the number go up, and that makes my brain happy. I love seeing numbers go up. I think it's an 8. Because it does get a bit repetitive, I'll admit that. Yeah, an 8. Katamari. So, I'm just going to tell you now, if you got this far, and you like my Here's Why episodes, it might be good for you to know that the next one's going to be on Katamari Damacy Reroll, or just Katamari Damacy. And that's how I say it. Damacy? No, it's Damacy. Damacy is not even a word to me anymore. Katamari Damacy, this is a 10 out of 10 game. Perfect game. No, not perfect. I play this game at least like once every 6 months. It's just a feel-good, fun time rolling up a planet from tiny little 6-inch ball, rolling up pins and ants, to rolling up entire continents. It's funny. It's fun. The soundtrack is amazing. And the reroll edition is pretty good looking. It's nothing like special from a graphics perspective, but you know, it's not supposed to be. The King of All Cosmos is an unlikable jerk, but that's the point. And it's like a likable unlikable, you know? You like to dislike him. And if you look deep into like how this game is like a... what's the word? It's supposed to represent like the creator of the game, like the main creator of the game's like... not depression. Is it depression? I don't remember. Like his views on like capitalism, kind of. And just a time in his life. There's a really good video on it. I'll probably put it in the description. I don't remember what the YouTuber's name is, but he can sum it up better than I am. I don't know what I'm even talking about anymore. But yeah, and the soundtrack, obviously, I've already mentioned. Crazy, Lonely Rolling Star, and the main theme. Like, top tier video game OST right there. My voice is going. I've been talking for a while now. Man, Katamari. I just, like, every time I play this game, even though it's just doing the same things over and over again, it doesn't get boring. At all. It is fun every time. I don't think this is a controversial opinion to say that Katamari Damacy is one of the best games ever made. Hands down. At least for me. Like, it doesn't have any, like, overly long moments where you're not playing. It's just a game. There's no deep cutscenes, there's not a lot of dialogue, besides when the king is talking to you. And even then, that's fun to read. It's got a fun sense of humor. Man, if you haven't played Katamari Damacy, any of them, but especially Reroll, do yourself a favor. It is on the Switch on sale most of the time, and on Steam I think it's pretty cheap. Just go and play it. Just go and play Katamari. You'll thank me later. Taiko no Tatsujin, the Drum Master. I would say most of you don't know what this game is, but you've probably seen the drum guy, Don-chan, at some point, especially if you frequent arcades a lot. Taiko no Tatsujin is one of the most fun rhythm games I've ever played. I've not played a lot of rhythm games, but I love Taiko no Tatsujin, the Drum Master. It's on Game Pass. It recently came to Game Pass. You just press A or B in rhythm to what's on screen. To songs like Megalovania, or the first opening to Attack on Titan, or Vocaloid songs. It's very Japanese, as you could probably imagine from the name. It's very Japanese. If you like Namco, or just games in general, or especially anime, the popular anime, you'll get a kick out of this. Or if you're into Vocaloids, I'm not. But, like Hatsune Miku and all that. It's got Megalovania, it's got... What else does it have? It's got Hopes and Dreams from Undertale as well. What other... It's got Street Fighter. I think the Switch version has a Zelda song. Honestly, just play any Taiko game. They're all pretty similar. But what do I give it? That's tough. There is a currency system. I don't think there's any microtransactions. I believe you can buy more songs as DLC. They just announced a new one in this Direct with over 500 songs in their subscription service. I don't like that, but that's not this game. It's... I'm giving a lot of 8s. No, it's an 8.5. It's an 8.5. There's one on Switch. I don't think it's Drum Master, where you can have Kirby or an Inkling as your character, your avatar. I think that's cool. Whoa. Okay, last one before my voice fucking goes completely. The Binding of Isaac, Repentance in particular. Probably in the top 5 indie games. Maybe even top 3. I love Isaac. If you've not played Isaac, it's like a top-down Zelda game, except it's a roguelike that is randomly generated, where you go through rooms collecting bombs, keys, and especially the pedestal items and other items. There are like over 1,000 items you can collect in this game that all do different things that affect your tiers, which is how you attack in this game, by using tiers in whatever character you're playing as. There's all sorts of items. There's familiars, there's tier upgrades, there's health upgrades, there's knives, there's laser beams, there's like passive upgrades. It's really, really fun, and the game was made to be broken. You can get some broken-ass combinations, and this game is hard as well. There's a lot of really hard bosses, because at the end of each floor you fight a boss, and if you're perfect with said boss, you can get an angel deal or a devil deal, and the devil deal takes away your hearts in return for a strong item. And angel deals are harder to get, but they also have some really good items. There's also shops where you can buy shit. There's greed mode, where you have to keep your money while also spending money on items in like an enemy and boss wave sort of deal. And the more you play, the harder it gets, because you start off just fighting Mom, then you fight Mom's heart, then you can go to fight the Satan and Mega Satan and Hush, then the final boss is like this really fucking strange... What's it called? Just the Beast, isn't it? I can talk about Isaac for a long time. I'm not going to, for the sake of time and my voice. But The Binding of Isaac... get it on Steam so you can get the mods. There are bad things about Isaac, like the random curses that can happen. I've talked about this before. They add nothing but frustration and annoyance. But luckily with mods, you can just get rid of them. And as long as you have at least beaten Mom's heart, no, or just Mom's foot, at least once without any mods, you can use mods in runs without disabling achievements, because you unlock new items and characters and all that with achievements. There's over like 650 achievements in this game that all unlock shit in the game, and it can get crazy. Yeah, Isaac is like a 9.5, because the complaints that I do have can be taken away with mods. Should that affect the score? I think so. That's the end of it. How far did we get? Jesus Christ, man. We've done like 56 games in 2 episodes. I see that as an absolute win. And we have like 15 or so more to go. Well, by the time I do this next month, because this is going to be a monthly thing. There'll probably be more things in between, but for the sake of my voice and for time, I think that's all I'm going to be doing for today. So, yeah, that's episode 2. I've been enjoying this. I hope you have. If you've got this far, thank you so much for your watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoy and all that jazz. And hopefully there should be a new episode of Here's Why on Katamari relatively soon. And I'll see you again doing this next month. Bye-bye!